A good Saturday evening to everyone, and welcome to Championship Saturday here in the ECBL Finals on netcastsports.com. Should be a good one, as you have the reigning three-time champs, the primetime players, taking the new kids on the block, only their second year in the league. That's the Hickory Hoyas, trying to unseat the reigning champs. Hickory Hoyas got here by beating the NC Coyotes last week, 128-121. And the Carolina Thunder were just completely blown out by primetime, 148-107. I'm Alan Key, along with my broadcast partner, Lauren Fody. Lauren, I have to tell you, this is going to be an up and down epic battle, but there are some things that we're going to be looking for in the game, so kind of your keys to the game that you thought about in this. So what's it going to take if Hickory's going to pull off the upset, because you have to call them the underdogs? What's it going to take for them today to get that done?
Well, for the Hoyas, they definitely need to shut down Sean Barnett. He's been averaging 33 points per game, totally killing it. So they really need to get him shut down from the beginning. They can't allow him to get any easy buckets, any open looks, so they're going to have to pressure him from the jump. Also for them, Glover, who has been injured and who has been playing injured, is finally feeling about 90%. So he's ready to push it. He's ready to run and jump, and he's ready to get his offense going as well.
And then you turn around and you flip to the other side of the ball. Primetime's the reigning champs, but they still got some work to do with Hickory.
Yeah, you know, as a reigning champ, you do have a target on your back, so you can't come out looking to just play lackadaisically. So they have to get Barnett going early. We talked about how Hoyas want to shut down Barnett, but Barnett, for primetime, needs to get his game going from the jump. Also, for the primetime players, they want to pressure the ball. They want to play tough defense, and they're ready. The official was just giving me the thumbs up, so I just kind of got confused for a second. I was like, what's going on? Why are you giving me a thumbs up?
Well.
But yeah, so primetime needs to pressure the ball, and they need to set the pace. Yes, they talked about going up and down today, but they need to set the pace.
All right, Hickory is in the white. The Hoyas in the white with the yellow trim. And the hometown players, as we are underway, PJ Heath corralling it. We are underway, and a quick shot by Chris Moores to get you set with the starting lineups. The primetime players are in the blue and red. Starters for the primetime players, you have Chris Moore, Terrell Smith, Sean Barnett, Odell Turner, and PJ Smith. And for Hickory, it is Quay Fuel, Justin Glover, Desmond Johnson, Will Marion, and Danny Sanders, the former primetime player last year, left the team, headed over to Hickory. There's no love lost between these two, between his old franchise and him. They had mentioned they wanted to put it on him pretty good today and smother Hickory. And you're starting to talk about some rarefied air as Barnett, the guy you need to shut down, is quickly on the board. He's got 2 points to get things going. The Wingate University product from right over here in Rock Hill, Division II, right down the street, the Bulldogs.
I pass it on my way up here. Or yes. Down here, I mean.
Down here, exactly.
Up here, down here, you know.
From the south. Yeah, exactly.
Same thing.
When you start talking about 4 times, the right-hander is up and good by Will Marion. Quickly into the passing lane was Danny Sanders, and the 3 is good. So Hickory off to a good start. Penetration, right left-hander no good by Turner, then the putback gets his own help. And just as anticipated, we're seeing a pretty high pace, not holding back. Hickory held back a little bit in their last game, slowed the pace against the Coyotes, but not the case today. Jeff Newsom says they want to get out and run with these primetime players. They met earlier in the season, and primetime struggled here in their gym, and they eked it out on free throws at the end, only won by 6.
Yeah, and also the thing, I think it's a championship game. You can't, this is nothing, you can't, you know, hold back the pace and wait until later on. You have to go from the beginning to the end and lay it all out on the line. There is no next week. There is no next game. Today is it.
And Sanders hits the deck, but he buries the three. Shot off the mark by Barnett. Sanders out into the front court looking to run. Gets tripped up and he's fouled. And a host of teammates rally around him to check on him as he got tripped up going to the bucket. (10-4) ball game, 9:25 here in the first quarter of the championship game. And for the game, I was over by the scores table. Pretty nice trophy. They'll also be giving away an MVP of the game as the floater no good up off the front of the rim by Marion.
Oh.
And we're going to get a foul. As Sanders was poked in the eye. And they're going to give him a second to kind of regroup.
I don't mean to laugh, but he like tripped over the same extension cord like 3 times just now.
Well, it's his business.
I guess he can't see.
He's complaining that he can't see. Right now he's struggling after getting poked in the eye. Just a tough play, but again, you know, no love lost, but he'll go to the line and he'll shoot 2. Hopefully he can get it straight, as they already have. Both teams have short benches, only carrying 8, 9 on the bench for each team. Well, actually 7 for primetime, so their full team isn't here again today.
I think there's, yeah, the Hoyas got 3 bench players, so
you're looking at 8 guys, and I wonder if that eye is still bothering Mr. Sanders.
That's the worst feeling, getting poked in the eye. Can't see anything.
I mean,
and then it's tearing up, so now you have to shoot your foul shots. And
Sanders, nearly a 72% free throw shooter for the season, misses a pair. Oh,
he made
sorry,
the third one.
Hit the third, excuse me. But he still missed a pair. 11-4, 9:04, shot blocked. The inbounds intercepted. Numbers Moore finding his man in the corner. And that was Terrell Smith. Terrell Smith, the firing up the 3, the 2015 ECBL Player of the Year. And off the mark. And primetime struggling to score, a team that averages as the shot. As the 3 is up and good by Justin Glover. He's on the board. Team leading scorer, averaging 25 points a game. As primetime averaging nearly 140 points a game. And they'll start to apply some of that full court pressure we talked about, 3/4 court pressure. Talked about in the open. Quick shot off the mark. And they're going to play Will Marion on Chris Moore, and they're going to hope that Chris Moore is not a scorer today and more of a distributor, as he's slid over to the point guard position today. We'll see if that changes at any point during the game.
Sorry, things just got super sloppy for a second, so I was waiting to see who would get the ball. It's actually really physical, too, as well, this game. We haven't seen it be too physical, but they're actually, you know, getting on each other. We're seeing bodies connect on rebounds.
Shot fake by Smith, sidesteps his defenders and buries the 3. 5-point deficit, 7:45 to go here. Justin Glover bringing it into the upcourt, and we're still waiting for him to see some of his explosiveness, his above the rim play.
Ooh, that was a double dribble.
As Heath picks it up and puts it back down.
almost got away with it. Because I don't think the front official was going to call that. I didn't think he saw it.
He did see it. Today's officials are Dennis Boyd, A.J. Isaiah, and Jeff Brooks. Have the task of keeping this game under control. I'm sure that if it's a close game in the second half, we're going to see lots of physicality.
Need to. Again, this isn't just another game. This is the championship game.
As Trey Shuford has checked into the game, a Johnson C. Smith product from over in Charlotte. Grew up in Hickory, playing for the hometown team. Ball batted around, and somehow Moore comes up with it in the scrum. Puts it up and under. Green behind the back, loses control, able to get it around to Marion. Marion drives, knocked away by Moore. The tip out of bounds. It will stay with Hickory.
This is also another thing that we're seeing early on in the game is the dribble penetration towards the basket. We're not seeing, we're seeing outside shots, but not a lot of outside shots, but we're also seeing a good healthy dose of driving to the basket.
And we're going to get the hoop and the harm, and Barnett's going to go to the line to try to make this a three-point play the old-fashioned way. Cut this to a three-point Hoya advantage. Is checking in the game is Zeke Mays, one of the tallest players on the court right now. A little bit of height in there also with Desmond Johnson for Hickory. Off the mark. Rebound and the putback by Trey Shuford. Both teams still trying to feel each other out. May have gotten away with a walk. Did more.
Almost. It was close.
Deep three from Terrell Smith. And one of the things that Primetime prides itself is on rebounds, and they're getting crushed on the offensive board right now.
Well, again, we are seeing a lot of the Hickory players getting a body on whoever they're guarding, turning around, boxing them out, and that's important. You want to turn around, find your player, box them out, find the ball as well. So that's what we're seeing a lot from the Hickory players.
Moore, three. And different pace, his numbers in the front court. Now Desmond Johnson calling for a cutter, doesn't get it, flips it over to the corner, and Quay Fuel fouled. Fouled by Moore. And Fuel will go to the line, and he will shoot three. Fuel at 70% free throw shooter. We're going to get a timeout at the 5:44 mark here in the first quarter. 19-13, Hoyas with the advantage. Well, 5:45, 19-13, Hoya advantage. Quay Fuel will be at the line shooting three. There's a late arrival. That's the expert sideline reporting that we have. You spotted Curtis Withers entering the gym. That's going to be reinforcements for the primetime players. As the first shot by Fuel is good, the 70% free throw shooter out of West Virginia State University. If you're talking about West Virginia State University, then you have to mention Earl Lloyd. And the reason Earl Lloyd's name is important is on October 31st, 1950, he became the first African American to play in an NBA basketball game. A lot of rich history coming out of that school. It's a deep three by Moore is good. So Moore with a couple of threes has 6. So much for Coach Thomas's theory that he was going to have Moore distribute the ball. He's one of their leading scorers. All rattles around in and out. And I'm sure during that timeout, I wasn't a fly on the wall to hear what Thomas spoke about, but it seems there's a little more sense of urgency on the players' part coming out of that timeout. Swings to the baseline.
Wow.
Buries the tray. Now Hickory willing to pick up some half-court defense. Sanders is nice save on the baseline and the kick back out to Terrell Smith. Smith has 6, 4.5 to play here in the first. Deep three by Green, too kind off the back bracket. Barnett, the long outlet pass, no good. He was being hounded by Green.
Oh boy.
We're gonna get Zeke Mays for a shove in the back. Zeke Mays hangs out around in your neighborhood out of Fayetteville State.
Oh, the good old Ville.
Battle for it on the boards. Finally up, tipped in and put away by PJ Heath. No look pass on the cutter.
Ah, you got to make that. Reward the beautiful pass.
And Howes off the mark after Mays with the no-look bounce pass. Found him on the cut, little give and go between each other. Gonna get a foul on Sanders before the shot.
As much as Hickory is scoring, it's not that big of a lead. They're only up 6.
Right. If you were just watching and weren't looking at the scoreboard, you would think this would be all dominated by Hickory. It'd be a 15-point game, but Odell Turner. But they haven't hit as many shots on the offensive end. Turner, the quick left-handed shot, no good. Mays again going to be called for the foul and the shove in the back. That's too quick on him. Nice crowd here on a Saturday. Or is it a pretty good crowd on a Saturday, to quote Billy Joel? Barnett backing his man down. Has to find more. It's a screen for him. The kiss off the glass. The shooter's roll.
It's almost as if Hickory is cooling off and the players are heating up.
That'll cut it to 1. As we get a timeout, Hickory wants one. We'll take one with it at the 2:41 mark. 27-26. Hickory still with a 1-point advantage. You're watching ECBL basketball on netcastsports.com. 27-26 ECBL championship on the line. As Hickory set to inbound after the timeout. Yeah, the 1-point edge. It's coming back to retrieve it is Darren Howes. Mays driving baseline, step back, drains the baseline, gets some oohs and ahs from the crowd. He also picks up the foul. Backed his man down. How do you get a foul as you break the guy's ankles? He was 4 feet away from you. Either way, Mays will go to the line.
Don't reach for the ball.
Got him on the arm. And Terrell Smith and PJ Heath will get a bit of a breather. Shot kisses off the iron, falls through, drops. He's now with 3 points.
Finally got some points on the board. It's been a couple minutes since they scored a basket there.
Well, Mays needed to hit his free throws. He coaches an under-11 team in Italy, so I'm sure that his girls team may be watching us today. Find out how good old coach does.
Got to practice what you preach.
That's right. Moore with the left-handed shot, up and good. So Moore drives the lane, hits the 2, leads all players with 11. Off the mark by Mays.
We used to watch my high school coach play in a men's league, and we would give him so much. If he didn't do what he taught us, we would yell at him from the sideline.
Deep feed inside to Barnett.
But the joke's on us. He plays for Puerto Rico.
Victor Street, the team captain now, is in the game, getting some playing time. Victor Street goes back a long time with Coach Chris Thomas, along with Barnett, the left-hander, no good by Fuel.
Oh, look up.
And Barnett finding his teammate. This time it's the reverse assist. So the last 4 points have both involved Barnett and Moore. They just reversed it. But getting back to Street and Barnett, they go way back. So Chris Thomas has known them, grew up with their fathers, has known them, it's the foul's called, known them since they were in high school, and they were hanging around the gym and actually played in some rec leagues with them when they were 15 years old in high school.
The basketball world's a small world.
Sanders off the mark as Moore will grab a rest, as well as Odell Turner. Well, Moore was just coming over to get some Gatorade. I thought he was going to get a rest. He may play all 48 minutes today. But nonetheless, we've got our first tie since it was 0-0 at the first. Under a minute to go. Free throw by Sanders breaks the tie. 33-32. First quarter as Donald Rutherford into the game. And that's tracked down the miss by Victor Street. Got hooked by Fuel. No call. Into traffic, lose control of it. A scrum on the floor, and it comes up with Mays. Mays finds Sanders on the wing. Sanders off the mark. You have to wonder, he has not been the same. Although he intercepts the pass, not been the same since he got poked in the eye. 15-footer no good. Hits the deck, wants the foul. They find Moore into the front court. Moore looking for a trailer, finds his buddy Barnett. Barnett fires the 3, and it's good. And Primetime has their first lead as we're under 10 to play here in the first quarter, 35-33. And we're going to get a jump ball with 4 seconds to go. And as you mentioned, it had been all Hickory. It looked like Hickory, but when you hook up on the scoreboard, it was never that far away. They only 4-5, 2-possession game. And now Primetime has battled back, and they take their first lead of the game. Jump ball, Barnett with 2, and he'll lay it up at the buzzer. And that's how we ended here in the first. It will be a 4-point advantage as Primetime gets their first lead of the game as we head into the second quarter. 3 quarters left to decide who's going to get that beautiful golden basketball trophy here as ECBL champs. You're watching the Hoyas and Primetime on netcastsports.com. One quarter in the books. 1 quarter in the books here at Bank Street Gym in Fort Mill, South Carolina to decide the ECBL championship. 37-33 primetime. The clock started, but the officials, as AJ Isaiah will head over to the scorers table, check something out, and I guess all is good now. It will be Hickory's ball side out. It was all Hickory in the first till about the last 2 minutes of the first quarter when primetime heated up.
Yeah, Hickory couldn't get their offense to go, but it kind of flip-flopped a little bit. Like I said before, it was as if Hickory started to cool down and the players started to heat up.
Well, he said they were going to need a big performance, Chris Thomas did, by Chris Moore, who is up for league MVP again, which would be the second year in a row. Ball knocked away as Curtis Withers, the late arrival, joins the party. He's blocked, and he'll end it on this end. Barnett all by himself, one-on-one with Danny Sanders, former teammates. And Barnett gets the better of him that time, and he has 12 on the day. They said they needed to get those two going, and Chris Moore got hot. If you're going to be league MVP, you have to show lots of leadership. Quick outlet. And now Barnett back-to-back buckets and 14. You're starting to see it's now quickly. Now it's running out to an 8-point lead from primetime. And the one thing you cannot do if you're Hickory is settle for jump shots against them. As a battle underneath, and Justin Glover is on the board. Matthews High School Hall of Famer, ball stolen, dumped off by Marion to Sanders, and Sanders buries the three. So that'll help him out.
Couple quick buckets, that's what they need. Start to get that rhythm back.
You cannot let primetime get out to a lead.
No, and they need to stay aggressive on defense. They can't let that, yes, you played a full quarter, you're starting to get a little tired, but you can't let that affect you.
Rutherford called with the travel. It is the travel. Thank goodness we didn't see the old kick off the offensive foot this time, as we saw last game. I'm still looking that up in the rule book.
Yeah, that was an interesting call.
As Will Marion is fouled the Vermilion College. Now, do you know where Vermilion College is?
It wasn't a foul.
It wasn't a foul?
It was going to be a jump ball. They called a timeout before they could call it a jump ball.
So 10:09, 41-38, and we're going to get a timeout as players hit the deck. 41-38. You're watching ECBL basketball on netcastsports.com. .09 left here in the second quarter. 41-38 player advantage after the timeout. We were talking about Will Marion before. And I asked you the question, where is Vermilion College?
Couldn't tell ya. Never even heard of it in my entire life.
It is in Ely, Minnesota.
Oh.
Ely, Minnesota. As the travel is called on Justin Glover.
Isn't that the state of like 1,000 lakes or something?
10,000
10,000 lakes. There we go.
10,000 lakes.
I knew it was something like that.
You'll get my old weatherman Eric Green upset if you mess that up. He's a big Minnesota guy. As the deep ball by Barnett now gives him 17 on the day. They're the Iron Men, if you were wondering what they were. It works. So
that's a cool.
It is the Iron Men and Iron Women. So you each get your own. You don't have to go by that. A lot of times as the mascot goes. Deep three by Victor Street. Up high, off in, diving in with a tip was Smith. No good. Battle underneath. So an offensive rebound leads to an extra possession on the offensive end. 6-point advantage. We've seen 2 swings. That was the largest lead by the Hoyas. Primetime has actually stretched this out to an 8-point lead. And we're going to get a bump foul as Barnett's knocked out of bounds. Fouls on Fuel. Side out for the players. This is the last championship game that'll be played here as Primetime moves to a new gym next season. They've already signed their contract.
We'll have air conditioning? They
will have air conditioning. It's a brand new facility. We're going to get a foul on the floor.
No, that's my main concern.
Well, it's a brand new facility that has dormitories. It's a multi-purpose, if I recall, basketball and one other sport, volleyball, for AAU to try and draw national tournaments and of that sorts. And Chris Thomas, head coach of Primetime, was telling us today that they signed their contract and they'll be moving over to this gym. So he's sad to see you go, Bank Street Gym, but we can all wear parkas next year as the shot off the mark.
I could bring a sweatshirt instead of, you know.
Stop, pops.
Wow.
Buries it, does Smith. Smith has 9, all by way of the three-pointer. The former Reading Rocket is shot by Fuel is good. That three is deep. Reading Rocket was Terrell Smith over in London. Won a championship with the Reading Rockets. Reading Rockets, I could get behind them.
Oh.
Victor Street joins the party. Offensive rebound and the putback. Now it's back to an 8-point lead, the largest lead either team has had, and it's both been by Primetime. Another deep three off the mark, short, follows his own shot. Finds Glover. Glover deep from outside. Glover needs to be driving. The outlet pass down to Barnett. Barnett now has 19 on the day.
This isn't what the Hoyas wanted.
10-point extension, and Jeff Newsom has seen enough, and he's going to take a timeout.
Yeah.
His team down 10, doesn't want this to get away. 7:36 to go. Championship Saturday here on netcastsports.com. Ten-point player lead. Timeout by the Hoyas to try to stop the bleeding. 7:36 to go here before half. Inbounds. Will Marion quickly over to Desmond Johnson. They really need to get Johnson going.
They need to get their entire offense going again.
I mean, he was a player that in college at Lincoln Memorial, I mean, he was a top 15 scorer in the nation among Division II schools, and he was also South Atlantic Conference Player of the Year, and they could use some help right now offensively. He'll go to the line. Shot off the mark. And again, when you're down 10, even though it's early, you you get those free throws. He's a 71% free throw shooter on the year. And when you talk about, they said the difference in the game last time of 6 points was the free throw advantage. Those shots are big. The second one is true, 51-42.
Oh, he's wide open.
Sanders on Withers. Withers swings it cross court to the captain. Victor Street out of Erskine College. And there's Barnett high flying with the left-hander. We get a foul. That'll draw the ire of Chris Thomas in the block.
Such dramatic motioning.
Either way, his team is up 13. I know you bring lots of Barnett, but I mean, you've got a guy that's been to the Trailblazers camp, the Grizzlies camp, played in the D-League.
Got to make those easy buckets.
Barnett rolls it out to Street. Street kind of carrying that mouthpiece outside his mouth like another guard that we know running around the NBA. Hustle play by Curtis Withers. Knocked off Hickory, heads out of bounds. Speaking about that mouthpiece, did you see it's up for auction?
Oh, whose mouthpiece?
Steph Curry's mouthpiece is up for auction.
Who cares?
He threw it in the stands. Threw it in his stands to a point. Who would buy a mouthpiece? And they're saying it's going to go for nearly $12,000 what they're anticipating.
Some weirdo is going to buy it and be like, oh my God.
Barnett buries a three. 24 on the day,
Don't
showing
I
up.
realize saliva smells bad?
I know.
I hated wearing a mouthpiece.
Drive, he gets Street up in the air.
I thought mouthpieces were so gross. It would gross me out every time I had to wear it in practice. I didn't have to wear one until senior year. And it made me so mad because it was so gross. Ooh.
And the shot by Johnson, the free throw is good. He's got three. They've got some work to do here. 5:52 to go before half to try to cut into this 15-point deficit. Second shot is up and good. Hickory looking to push. Calling for it was Johnson. Calling for the oop. Good ball movement. Steps inside. That'll be a two. And this time, and I notice Hickory's doing a better job of getting back on defense. The two by Justin Glover. He now has 9 on the day. Withers kicks it back out to Barnett. Barnett off the mark. The deep three off the mark by Howes.
I felt like they could have used that possession a little bit better.
Sloppy passing, and they're going to get an opportunity to go back. We're going to get another timeout, media timeout at the 4:54 mark. 58-47 player advantage. You're watching ECBL Championship Basketball on netcastsports.com. Desmond Johnson will roll the ball over to Will Marion. Hickory trying to cut into this lead before half. The right-hander falls for Justin Glover. And the clock didn't start, so we're going to have to run a little bit of time off. However,
that's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time for a ball that rolled halfway down the court before it was picked up. I don't know that. How can there be 18 on the shot clock left and
that was like 20
15 seconds taken off? Deep three by Smith is good. And back-to-back buckets by Glover. They've cut it under double digits.
Ooh.
Withers outside, not really his shot, the three. He needs to be posting up down there.
Well, that's why I went, ooh, I was kind of confused. But, you know, maybe he was
see if Glover with a spin move, drives, step back, no good, but finds his man Mays there to clean it up.
I'm going to say that was a pass and not a shot.
That's what I would say. That was not a shot to him. He was fading away, and he just dumped it off. Ball nearly batted away by Johnson. And Rutherford checked that Turner with a couple. Marion, Moore playing way off of Marion. Little floater in the lane, good. 3.5 to go before half. Pace beginning to pick back up. Johnson needed to be careful as he grabbed Withers' arm and pulled it back.
I mean, luckily they didn't call it. They called it out of bounds on him, but.
And Moore fouled, hooked as he curled around.
I think I hit in the face. Very physical. I like this. Like, this is what, you know, this is what we want to see. A physical championship game.
Well, they have chipped away at this lead. If they can get a stop here. Bong, rebound, drive inside. Finds Withers. Withers going up strong, and he's fouled by Glover. Withers had a sense of purpose in his eyes. I think he was going to try to dunk that. He's smiling at the free throw line. And Glover.
Well, that was good recovery defense. Good help defense, good recovery.
Glover, who sat on the bench quite a bit last game, was in foul trouble. Staying out of this time. Withers' first free throw is good. First points of the game for Withers, the UNC Charlotte 49er. To West Charlotte High School. It's a big powerhouse basketball school. Maybe this year you can get out and see some good high school basketball around here. That's Chris Paul land. I'm just saying that's Chris Paul land. I'm not saying where you're from doesn't have good basketball.
I was about to say, you cannot sleep on New York.
I'm not sleeping on NYC, your home place.
You better be careful. Mount Vernon High School, show some respect. Put some respect on their name.
3:10 to go, 64-56 primetime. Barnett sizes up Howes. Shot off the mark. Off and running. Finds Marion, and Marion finds an assist to someone in the crowd. Unable to hold on to it and lost possessions.
Sloppy, sloppy.
Terrell Smith looks for a pick. He gets one from Odell Turner. No good. PJ Heath flying down the lane. Now Heath goes up strong. His shot no good. Chest to chest is Desmond Johnson and PJ Heath. And finally a foul is called on the third putback.
Stop trying to out-jump someone and put a body on them like the Hoyas were doing in the beginning of the game. And now all of a sudden they're not. And they're losing battles for rebounds.
PJ Heath with a quiet day, only a couple of points. Will go to the free throw line, try to kick this back to a 10-point lead with nearly 2.5 to go here in the first. And in pregame, we were noticing it. Our producer Marcus, we were noticing he was money from the line, but now we're in the game.
Nerves, jitters.
Misses the first one.
That's messed up. These table people need to pay attention.
They're going to get us right in the middle of his shooting form. They get a sub as Mays are going to go have. Yeah, but it's not intentional. They just weren't paying attention.
Icing the shooter at his own home court.
Icing exactly. Your hometown score guy is killing you. Not starting the clock. You want the time to go off. You get a 10-point lead. No, he ices him at the free throw line off the front of the rim. Scramble for the rebound. Knocked around. Brought down by Barnett, and he's called for the travel.
I don't get it. The Hoyas were doing so good at boxing out and rebounding, and now they're just trying to out-jump their opponent. You can't do that. You have to put a body on someone, push them out.
A little conversation between Dennis Boyd and Chris Thomas. Thomas thought that Barnett was fouled. Into the lane, Quay Fuel, no good. Slapped away. Say it was last touch by Primetime. It looked like, from our vantage point, that maybe Darren Howells had last touched it. They will take time to wipe up the floor. We're nearing the 2-minute mark here at the halfway point. Primetime players going for their 4th straight championship here in the ECBL. Now, they did win 3 titles as well in the Tobacco Road Basketball League. So, going for 7 titles as a team as a whole. Hickory coming over in their 2nd year. They were in the Tobacco Road League. They came over when Lumberton last year was disqualified for whatever their reasoning was. As the deep 3 by Justin Glover is good, and he's starting to heat up. Glover, their leading scorer, averaging nearly 25 points a game. Headed to the dunk contest in the ECBL All-Star game next Saturday is a foul. The foul's on Fuel. And PJ Heath will head to the line. We're still waiting to see some of those hops that we've been promised by Glover.
Saving it. Saving it for the second half.
Heath, the Denmark Tech product, before transferring to Allen University. Allen University misses the front end down there in Columbia, South Carolina. A little bit south of here, about an hour. Home to the Gamecocks.
Yep.
And I highly recommend, if you're in this area, to go down there to one of those games. That is fun stuff. Is the second one is good for Heath. Because before I pass away on this earth, I'm going to rent a cockaboose, and I know you don't even know what a cockaboose is.
I don't. Why don't you fill us in on what it is?
Right-handed by Will Marion. Well, the school is built on an old rail yard, so they have all these train cars out back of the stadium. His Barnett's shot is good, and he now has 26 on the day. 90 seconds to go before half, 67-61 primetime. And so you can rent those out. And so like the Lance Crackers guy has one, Andy McDowell has one.
That's pretty cool.
And if you come over by the ESPN compound, every game you can see Mr. One Darius Rucker in his bus. I know, that's worth its money, price of admission right there. A 4-point lead. This is the closest it's been for quite a while. Rutherford shot no good. They can cut this to 2. Will Marion splits 2 defenders, and the right-handed going away from the basket. Buries the 3. Buries the 2, 67-65. Under a minute to go. Hickory battling back from a 15-point deficit. Barnett, triple team. Finds his man in the corner. No good. Rebound Sanders. Outlet to Marion. Marion will go one-on-one with Barnett. And the charge is called on Marion.
That is crazy.
And
he jumped into him.
That's it'll get Coach Newsom up off the bench.
He literally jumped into him with his body. I was expecting that to be a defensive foul, not offensive. That's insane. That's a terrible call.
12-second difference on the shot clock. Interesting to see if Primetime wants to try and get a 2-for-1. Justin Glover will bird dog Chris Moore in the backcourt. Now they'll release and let him go. Finds Odell Turner. Turner gets it to Barnett. Backs his man down. Now comes out, turns, drives, spins. Shot. No good. And Hickory can hold for the last shot. A 2 to tie. A 3 would put him up. And Danny Sanders hasn't hit a bucket in a while. 13 to go. Huge block by PJ Heath. 6 to go. Terrell Smith all alone. Finds Moore in the corner at the buzzer. Off the mark.
Way.
No good.
That's
where we stand.
That should have been goaltending. That is a missed call. That is terrible. It was on the backboard.
The ball was on the backboard when it slapped. Nonetheless, we have reached the halfway point of the ECBL championship game. Primetime loses their 15-point lead. It is 67-65. What a second half to come. You're watching the ECBL championship on netcastsports.com. Welcome back, everyone. ECBL Championship Saturday. 24 minutes to decide this. Who's going to take home the golden basketball? Will it be the primetime players in their home gym winning their 4th straight ECBL title? Or will the new kids on the block, Hickory Hoyas, take it home after only their 2nd year in the league? 67-65 is the primetime lead right now. They once held a 15-point lead in the 2nd quarter. Hickory, with tough defense, battled back. However, one of the keys to the game, and you talked about this, Lauren, it was that they need to handle Sean Barnett. Well, they have to do a better job as he's got 28 at the half. However, when you look across the line, he's not getting much help from the rest of his teammates. He's a one-man band right now.
Yeah, but still, you know, as the Hoyas, you need to be able to stop one person. You can't, you know, let this one guy go off the entire game.
Mays guarded by Withers, knocked away by Moore. And they're going to say it last hit Mays. Wow. I mean, that's right in front of me. You know, granted, I don't have a dog in this fight, but
that's 3 really bad calls, and they're all against the Hoyas. Like, again, we don't have a dog in this fight, but it's not
they always say you got to fight the home crowd. You don't want to have to fight the other 3 guys. The Withers.
Well, when you do play on the road,
jumper.
When you do play on the road, you're not just playing the 5 players. You're playing 7.
Quick inbound steal.
8.
Terrell Smith, Chris Moore in the corner. Gets a screen by Withers. Now Withers will peel off. Mays on Moore. One-on-one isolation. Thought about the drive. Step back. Mays slips. And the true bucket by Moore. And he has 14 as it draws oohs and ahs from the crowd. But Mays just slipped on a wet spot. It had nothing to do with the move that Moore made.
I know. I love watching little kids overreact. It's so cute. But at the same time, you're like, he
Quick shot by Terrell Smith. And Terrell Smith now with 14, and a quick timeout by the Hoyas, 10:54. They were down by 2, and they now trail by 9. Quick 7-0 run to start the 3rd. We'll take a quick break with them. You're watching ECBL basketball on netcastsports.com. .70 run by Primetime coming out of the break. A quick timeout by Hickory. As they once had an early lead, they had an 8-point lead way back in the 1st quarter. That dissipated.
I'm not really seeing the same type of intensity from them this half.
Heath with a block. Another block. Withers can't get a hold of that one. And Justin Glover creeping up the score sheet with 18. Steal by Sanders. Knocked away. Good job by Terrell Smith of getting his hands in the passing lane, but they're settling for jump shots. Curtis
and
Withers
no players
going
down
to court. Terrell Smith fires another 3. No good. Battle for it in the corner, and there's 2 players there and only one in Danny Sanders. Smith, ball movement, Moore, still from the corner, no good. But P.J. Heath under there to clean it up, but out of the pack comes Will Marion. Marion out of control, loses it, picked up. Numbers against Sanders, the former primetime player. Moore drives, and the block is going to be called on Sanders.
I have to laugh about that because, again, going back to the first half when they called that offensive foul against the Hoyas, it was definitely not an offensive foul. And then this, he was set in outside of the circle.
Well, there's no circle here at the Bank Street gym, but even the imaginary
circle, he was set outside of it.
But I thought,
and they're going to call that
I thought that they changed that rule that you could still be on the circle, in the circle a little bit. I mean, it all depends on where you're positioned and where the contact occurs. But Chris Moore will go to the line. Foul on Danny Sanders. Moore's first free throw was good.
And he was straight up as well, so.
And
just interesting.
And second one is true. 16 with more, 9-0 run by the players. And the deep three by Desmond Johnson. Stops the run. Well, anything you can do, I can do better, says Barnett, as he picks up his 31st point of the game on the three. And I don't care what league you're in. 31 with 9:13 to go in the third quarter. Johnson in the corner being guarded by Withers. Up top was Glover. Glover settles for the 15-foot jumper. Steps back behind the line. It is good. 79-73. Another foul underneath.
Let him play. Let him play.
Foul on Quay Fuel. Now that's his third. The inbound to Smith. Swings around Barnett. Gets a pick from PJ. He drives the bucket. Kiss off the glass. Well, I tell you what. When I make out my spotting boards, I only go up to 50 on my score sheet as Barnett fouls Justin Glover. I may have to start adding numbers if Barnett keeps this up.
Who's not here? We can.
Hey, whose sheet can I start using? You know what? We could use your guy. We could use your guy. We could use your guy, Fly Guy spot. Brian Mobley, if you're watching tonight, congratulations on the fact that you're going to have a baby. I know you'd rather be here playing for a trophy, but it's nice to see that some guys have priorities.
Rather be here. What?
Yeah, look, every year, yeah. Trust me, you would probably be like, hey, listen, I don't go into labor for 2 weeks. I'm playing for my ring. Don't act like you wouldn't. I get one ring. I can have kids the rest of my life. Shot off the mark by Terrell Smith. Sanders drives, goes up. Underneath bucket, looking for Marion. Nobody there.
At that point, I would just honestly go up for the shot.
Finds Withers underneath. Withers was hooked on the way up. He'll go to the line to shoot a couple. That foul is on Justin Glover. That's his third. You know, Glover sat most of the game against the Carolina Thunder last year. He sat a good quarter and a half with sitting on 5 fouls. They didn't need him in that 7-point win, but they're going to need every point from everybody today on the Hickory side as Curtis Withers' first shot is good. Tickling the twine. Second shot by Withers is good. Deep three by Sanders.
Right up. There you go.
And the putback by Quay Fuel. And I was just told, Lauren, by our producer that they have subscribers in Italy. We have international viewing audience tuning into this game today.
Oh.
That's nice. Marion's going to be fouled by Terrell Smith.
Is it nighttime
Picks
now?
up his second. That I don't know the time difference. Maybe
Morning?
somebody will tweet at us.
What is it? Is it 6 hours?
I think so. We would. Smith tracks it down in the corner, gets it into the front court for Moore. Moore finds the hot-handed Barnett, who seems to be unstoppable today. Withers travels, takes the extra step. Took the James Harden path to the bucket. 7:03 to go, 83-75. All the marbles.
All of them.
All of them, not just a few. On the line. Glover guarded by Heath. He'll drive on Heath. Runs into a wall with Withers. And the left-hander goes over Withers. 24. I mean, Glover can score. He holds the single game record for points in a game as Barnett misses the shot. He's going to be bailed out with a foul on the arm. Say he hacked him. And that's going to be on former teammate Danny Sanders. Now he has 3. Barnett will go to the line. But anyway, Glover scored 68 last year.
68.
That's the current league record for points in a game.
Well,
so he can fill up the bucket. He can fill it up.
I mean, that might be broken.
It could be. Season high his season high was 44 against the Charlotte Tribe earlier this season. 6:25 to go. 84-77. Yeah, well, yeah, at the rate Barnett's going. If he keeps averaging 20 plus points, 29 points a half, we'll get close. Glover buries the 3 and then takes a quick look at Chris Moore. Buries it right in his face. That's 27. However, Moore shrugged it off and probably just kind of gave him a little 3 right there, like, I got 3 rings. Barnett off the mark, rebound Sanders.
I got 2. He beats me.
Yeah. Glover looking for some help. Knocked away by Barnett.
Yep.
How can it be over and back when it was knocked away?
No, I don't think he hit it. I don't think.
You think it bounced off his leg? I had a bad angle. I
don't think Barnett hit it. I think he just lost control of it.
Well, I had Terrell Smith right in my sight line when he made his move. I didn't see if he bounced it off the side of his leg. We're going to get a timeout at the 5:42 mark, 85-80. It's all prime time since the first quarter. You're watching ECBL basketball on netcastsports.com. $85-80 here in the championship game. Less than half the quarter to go here in the third. Primetime once held a 15-point advantage. Chris Moore, crowd wanted to walk. Withers now drives the lane, runs into trouble, kicks it out, and Moore bails him out with a 3 from the corner. Chris Moore, as Mays tries to answer back, and he does.
I had pencil sticking to me.
Trading backside. No, I see that when your forearms are so sweaty that your pencil sticks to you and then hangs off your bracelets as Withers with the left hand. Soft hands. Withers playing overseas in Argentina. We actually caught his first game that he got back. Had a little bit of jet lag.
Yeah, didn't he come back like literally the night before that?
Literally the night before he flew in. His fuels tray is good. Both teams kind of trading baskets.
What is going on?
I think they're going to wipe. Looks like they're going for the towels. Maybe they're going to. Oh, shot clock's died.
Oh, got unplugged.
I don't know why it really matters. We haven't needed it all day long.
Very true. Did it get unplugged or did someone turn it off?
You could turn it off the shot clocks. 4:25 to go. These teams are not wasting any time.
No.
However, that stoppage in play, primetime with only a 6-point lead, had dropped back. That stoppage now allowed them to set up after the quick bucket into a full court press. Although, not really, as they're not really putting much pressure on the ball. They find Mays in the corner. He'll go for his second three off the side of the iron, untimed.
Gotta follow your shot.
Moore guarded by Marion. Up in the air, gets into trouble, but finds Withers. Mismatch with Withers on Marion. Now the switch. Barnett
Wide
in the
open.
corner, left all alone. Shorts.
Too open.
Glover. Fade away, no good. Battle for it by Mays, and Barnett comes away with it for the players. Players will be headed to the basketball tournament as Terrell Smith is good with the three. Eked it back out to a 9-point lead. That's where we started the third quarter, as Primetime went on a 9-0 run for this comeback, and they're going to get Chris Moore on with the foul, fouling Marion. He's got 3 fouls. Marion will go to the line. Off the mark. Second one is good for Marion. You're in the 3-minute mark. Barnett backing down Glover. They kicked it back out to Withers, and what a gift for Hickory if they could have come up with the ball. Tracked down by Barnett, sidesteps Glover. Glover knocks it away from behind.
Push it.
Credited with the steal. Sanders, they find Fuel in the corner. His shot no good, pulled down by PJ Heath. Off and running. Finds Withers down low. Withers called. They're going to get Fuel with the foul. That's 4 on Quay. Aquarius may have to take a seat. Coach Thomas wanting the basket to count.
I got to give it to the players. You know, that first quarter was kind of iffy for them, but ever since then they've had their foot on the pedal, and they haven't let up since.
Well, Jeff Brooks says the foul was on the floor before the shot.
Are they in the bonus already?
We signaled, he pointed on the floor. He's going to the line, so he's going to say he's in the act of shooting. Well, if he was in the act of shooting, then
I don't know if that's the case, because the table was motioning
they
to the
wanted
officials.
the bucket. First shot by Withers is true. I gotta say, there's couple of officials that have here that I've seen before. The new one has that joined the crowd, and we won't single him out, that I haven't seen before, has been a little lackadaisical in some of his calls. I'll call it, and again, we don't have a dog in the fight as the job by Fuel is good. He goes coast to coast and hits the layup.
Oh.
Backs him down, no call, very physical. And we'll get a couple of players to look at him as Barnett picks up another 2, 36 on the night.
Swing it.
And shot by Sanders, no good. Heath into the front court. Finds the hot Barnett. Over to Smith. Moore, 13 on the shot. No good. And intentional foul by Barnett. And why not? Barnett picks up his 3rd. Got a minute 45 to go, a 9-point lead. Why give up the easy basket? Had some fouls to give here at the end of the quarter.
The players have definitely taken the Hoyas out of their game, 100%. Beginning of the game, they were driving to the basket. They were, you know, changing between driving and taking outside shots, and now it's just a mess for the Hoyas side.
Desmond Johnson drives. No good. The kick out, no good either. Tracked down by Terrell Smith. Numbers if they want it. Moore finds Smith, steps inside the line. No good. Rebound by Mays. Marion brings it into the front court, guarded by Smith. Takes Smith off the dribble. He finds Desmond Johnson, and they're going to get Odell Turner for the foul, his 2nd.
He was bailed out.
And that will put them over the bonus, and they'll go to the free throw line for the rest of this 1 minute and 17 seconds.
He was bailed out.
Out of control. Free throw, no good.
As some guy said to me in the gym the other day, ball don't lie. Maybe?
Ball don't lie, wow.
Ball don't lie.
Ouch, harsh criticism.
It's a saying.
Second free throw, no good. Got to get those points with the clock not moving. Barnett looking to take his man off the dribble. Takes it over around to Turner. Turner sets the screen for Victor Street Jr. And Victor Street Jr. with a little razzle-dazzle hangs on the rim.
Then
falls off the shelf and drops in. Back to an 11-point lead. Quick shot off the back iron, no good. Street into the front court, finds Smith. Smith will fire up a 3, no good. And rebound by Turner.
Wow.
Turner with the reverse layup, and it's slowly getting away from Hickory again.
Yeah, Hickory looks like they're kind of giving up a little bit. They had 3 defenders on their side of the court. They didn't even hustle down there to play defense.
Glover drives. He's fouled by Terrell Smith, who says he'll take it. As 2-second differential from the shot clock and the game clock here in the 3rd quarter, but it's a 13-point lead.
Yikes. Yikes. Hickory is completely
if you're going to
out of their game right now.
Glover gets the shooter's roll. Glover on the year, the 81% free throw shooter. And was inducted into his high school Hall of Fame over at Matthews just this past year. The 2nd one is good, so he picks up a pair. Trying to keep Hoyas in it. 19 on the shot clock. 18 on the game clock now. Shot clock dips under 10. Wastes no time. Does Turner, and Turner buries a set of 2. Now they signal 3. And it's a 14-point lead as the frustration you saw on Desmond Johnson as he couldn't believe as they now trail 14. They're going to have a lot of work to do here in the final quarter of play here in the ECBL championship. Hickory's going to need to come out of this timeout and figure out how to get some offense, how to get some help from the rest of their team. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Glover has 22, and then the next closest player is Sanders at 14. And then you just kind of have points spread out amongst an array of players. And so Glover's going to need some help. He is the leading scorer on the team. He's hit his average for the day, so he's done his work. But Sanders hasn't hit his, nearly 24 points a game as well. Of course, Primetime came into the game saying that they were not going to let the former player, Danny Sanders. I keep wanting to call him Danny Glover because we have Justin Glover and Danny Sanders, and just Danny Glover. Of course, all last game I wanted to call him Danny Green from the Spurs. So I mean, I don't know. Got to get this NBA and movies out of my head because I don't know if Danny Glover was ever in a movie. It certainly wasn't in For Love and Basketball and all that stuff. But anyway, no. But he's going to need to get some help if they're going to cut into this 14-point deficit with only 12 minutes to go.
Well, the beauty about basketball, and 12 minutes is a long time. A lot can happen in 12 minutes. So hopefully, we can see a little bit of fight still left in Hickory. It didn't look like it at the end of the third quarter, but maybe this fourth quarter we could see a little more fight from them.
We're going to inbound the ball, and now we're going to stop.
What is going on?
I need to reset the clock back to 12 minutes, though. I mean, all of Hickory wasn't on the court. I think one official blew his whistle, the other one wasn't ready, and they reset it. We are underway here in the fourth. 12 minutes to win the coveted Golden basketball. It'll be prime time, winning their fourth in a row. Barnett guarded by Glover. Barnett gets a screen from Turner. Now picked from behind. Quickly up the court. Marion with the reverse layup.
Surprised we're not seeing a press from Hickory right now. Very surprised. I think, with 12 minutes left, you don't have a lot to lose. You want to try and stop the ball as much as you can.
And Turner fouled by Johnson. And he picks up his third. He's in the act of the shooting. Nope, they're going to say side out. Of course, every coach is going to scream that his guy was in the act of shooting.
No, they're going to the line.
Oh, they are, right? We'll see when they take. I keep forgetting they're cleaning up the. We got to pull double duty here. Hey, how come these little primetime player cheerleaders aren't out there being, ball girls and stuff? I mean,
because they're the cheerleaders.
Mind you, the next week coming to you live from Columbia, South Carolina, as the first shot by Turner is no good. Will be the ECBL All-Star game. You'll see quite a few of these players. Justin Glover. You'll see Chris Moore, Sean Barnett. Danny Sanders. Second shot, no good. Rebound by Sanders, aforementioned. Guarded by Barnett. Glover dogged by Smith. Works him down into the corner. Desmond Johnson with the extra steps. Victor Johnson looking for help to get it in. Coming back forward is Turner. What an accomplishment this would be if they do hang on to this lead, as Barnett misses. Sanders drives in, draws the contact, no foul. Both players in the air. And the shot by Rutherford, no good. Maybe a little poetic justice. The basketball god said no, and now he get contact on the other end, and now Turner bailed out on the foul. And they're going to get Will Marion for his second foul. Sends Rutherford to the line. Rutherford has no points today, looking for his first.
I'm slightly confused as to what is a foul and what is not a foul, what is a charge, what is not a charge. I thought I knew.
Rutherford is under. Rutherford finally on the board after the free throw. And pushes it to a 14-point lead here early on in the fourth. Glover spins around, Hits it out of the corner, gets it out of trouble. 12 on the shot clock. Finds Sanders, 8 on the shot clock.
Move the ball.
7, he's still dribbling.
Move the ball.
Now he has to fire one up from deep, and he buries it off the bank. Banks are open down here in Fort Mill on Saturday afternoon late.
Oh, goodness.
And they left Victor Street alone long enough to size up the bucket,
just
level himself off.
Pure confusion on that defensive.
And the foul is going to be on Barnett. And that is 4 on Barnett. Although Barnett's going to be on the court till he hits 6. As Chris Moore is now up off the bench. And now they're with a 14-point lead. Thomas maybe wanted to save a couple of fouls on Barnett. He's could ill afford to use his offensive prowess. Sanders at the line, facing his former team. First free throw is true, and well, not a bad substitution when you take out your leading scorer in Barnett and you bring in the reigning league MVP, who is expected to take home the hardware this year when it's announced at the ECBL All-Star game, as both free throws are good.
Yeah, that's a fair
for
stop,
Sanders. I mean, it's not a bad problem to have if you're head coach Chris Thomas. Swings it around, finds Terrell Smith off the mark. Darius Fuel comes out of it, gets it over to Sanders. Sanders, deep 3, finds the mark. And now Sanders beginning to fill it up. Now he's got 22, quick 22. He scored the last 5 points. 110-101, a 9-point deficit. Get a defensive stop here. Moore, a little sloppy with the ball.
They got to be smart on defense, get a stop, no fouls, don't give them any.
Rutherford dribbles it off his own foot, 7 to shoot. Kicks it over into the corner. Turner, 3 to shoot, no good. Off, battle for the ball, and it's going the other way. So a nice defensive stand by the Hickory Hoyas.
They needed that. They needed that.
He will not go away. Victor Street going to guard Justin Glover, if nothing else, to help burn some clock, as well as make Glover work a little hard. He's played a lot of minutes, and now Street, the captain of the team, picks him. No kick by Glover, hit off the side of his leg. Green fires one from the top of the key, off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound by Fuel, now kicks it back out. And the bucket by Sanders, giving him another opportunity, is good. And it is now a 26-point night for Sanders. The captain brings it up for the players. Rutherford drives, and he's fouled by Fuel. Blocking foul.
He was going up? Oh, no, side out. I was about to say, he was not.
It was a blocking foul on the ground, but 6-point.
I genuinely was just so confused. I was like, why is he going to the line?
So off the mark. Glover was calling for it in the front court as he sprinted out. Slowing the pace is Sanders, being guarded by Street. He'll fire one up from deep, and he buries it.
Turn around.
And 30 points on the night for the former primetime player. Feeling it now, 110-107.
110?
110, 110-107.
So excited
to go.
here.
It is exciting.
I told you 12 minutes is a lot of time.
You can't leave Chris Moore alone in the corner, although can't find the mark.
Told you 12 minutes.
Hickory can tie this up. They trailed by as many as 14 here in the fourth.
Out of control.
There's a Smith
That's all right.
Stop the bleeding.
That's all right. That's all right.
After they gone at 10, quickly into the front court, and firing from 3 again is Sanders. No good.
I don't like that choice.
A little bit of. They've got to stop this and wipe that. Is Sanders charge going the other way? As a good job of standing and holding your ground, and he was freight trained. Gets up a little gimpy.
I did not like that shot choice by him, by Sanders just now on the offensive end, but it was good defense by Hickory to hustle back and make that play.
As we're wiping up the messes, Sanders looked like he had got on a slip and slide and slid about 10 feet across the court. So a little bit of stoppage in play, but a 5-point difference here at the 6:58 mark. They could cut this to a 2-point ball game with a 3. And Glover tries from the corner, off balance, no good. Rebound more. It's it ahead to Turner. Turner will drop it off for Barnett. He'll kick it back to Turner. Turner's 13-footer won't fall. Marion driving to the bucket, and he beats Withers with the right-hander. Marion with 15. Nearing the halfway point here in the fourth, 112-109. 12 to shoot. Barnett being guarded by Glover. Now he gets isolation one-on-one. Flips it back to Terrell Smith, and the deep 3 is good.
That offensive breakdown is going to get Hickory every time.
Can't give Smith that much room.
Exactly.
He's an assassin from out there. Mays works it around. Finds Marion. Marion drives, cuts the lane, another flip up. This time no good. Wanted contact done. Ahead to Terrell Smith, and back-to-back buckets by Smith. 22 on the night for Smith. Former ECBL guard of the year. Off the backboard, no good, and now it's getting a little bit out of control.
Hickory needs to slow it down. Slow it down, run a play, set up some screens, move the ball a little bit.
Had cut this to a 3-point primetime advantage. It's pushed back out now to an 8-point lead. 5:15 to go. Off the mark, but the putback on the rebound is good by...
They're not boxing out anymore.
By Turner. Do they have another run in them as they now trail by 10? Glover one-on-one with Barnett. It's been done a good job on Glover most of the game. Struggling, maybe his legs are going a little bit. Wraps it up, now a little bit chippy as neither guy will let go of it. Clock was still running, and Coach Newsom was screaming about that. 10-point deficit, 4:47 left to go. Timeout on the floor. Prime time going for their 4th title. They lead this one by 10. 4:47 to go. You're watching ECBL Championship Basketball on NetcastSports.com. .47 to decide this one. 10-point lead by primetime. Does Hickory have another run in them?
Possibly. This is a lot of ball game left, but again, you can't rely on just one player, and we're seeing a lot of one-on-one basketball right now.
Well,
There's four other people on the court.
Should see a great jump ball as Glover out jumps Barnett. Barnett just kind of gave up for it, just gave into him. But we were well aware of Glover's hops. He fires a three, no good. Rebound Barnett.
The other thing is Hickory's settling for the first shot they see. I get that they're down, but work the ball. Move the defense a little bit. You might find a better shot.
4.5 to play, 12 on the shot clock. Terrell Smith was guarded by Glover. Glover not. He's sticking to Smith like glue. Lost him for a minute now. Barnett fires one up. Off the mark, no good. Chased down by Moore. And now, as we near the 4-minute mark, prime time, stepping off the gas a little bit, eating some clock. Smith fires, 12 on the shot, no good. Rebound, Mays. Mays gets it to Glover. Mays, not shy, fires up a three, and he hits it. 15 on the day. 119-112. Barnett hadn't hit a shot in a while, but he's been a great facilitator. The offense is a hard foul by Glover. Diving to the basket was P.J. Heath. And now Glover has 4 fouls. But make Heath earn it at the free throw line. Heath has already missed a couple from the line today.
He did. Remember, he was on fire during warm-ups.
And, I mean, not a bad foul. He's only a 66% shooter on the year. No easy baskets down the stretch. True on that one. Of course, remember, he was also the one working on him in warm-ups when he hit about 15 in a row.
And then kind of hit the 2 before.
Battles around and gets the shooter's touch. Picks up a pair. 9-point deficit. Driving as Glover. May have got away with a walk and a big block by P.J. Heath. Some words between both of them. A little
selfish
smack
basketball.
talk. Taking on 1-on-3.
That's selfish basketball.
Dropped off for Glover. That ball no good. Tapped away by Heath into the corner. Saved by Hickory. The quick shot by Mays, no good. They're in the 3-minute mark, and Chris Thomas now screaming at his team to stop.
Why is Hickory not pressing and pressuring the ball?
Well, and that was what Coach Thomas was upset about, was that they weren't pushing it. 10 to shoot when under 3 to go. Chris wants it put away. Heath off the bottom of the rim, no good. And wow, Justin Glover picks up his 5th foul as he fouls Curtis Withers, and they can ill afford to lose Justin Glover. As checking back in the game will be Darren Howes, as Glover's been the offense. He and Sanders both have been the only offense for Hickory today. Withers would like to push this to a 13-point lead. And the ex-49er buries his first free throw. And the second one is good. It's a 13-point lead. Time now becoming the enemy of Hickory, where once they could have had patience with the basketball, they still can. And it's flipped up by Marion, no good. Fouls his own shot, battles for it. Wanted a foul. And into the front court is Moore, and Moore with nobody back. And this has been the formula that we've seen the last few games of primetime. They let you hang around. You may get a few chances. You may get some punches in, but eventually
they're gonna wear
they find a way to knock you out as the shot was blocked. Rebound underneath. Sanders with Heath in his face, and that's a block. Kicks it out to Smith. Nearing the 2-minute mark. And we're going to get it a stoppage of time by the official if the hometown clock operator will realize that.
We'll actually stop the clock.
Another 4 seconds tipping off. Now the hometown scorekeeper's helping out. 13-point lead, but yes, it's like it's prime time. They give you a chance. You just punch, and then finally they begin, and they feel it, and they deliver the knockout punch.
But it's also, I feel like, a lot of times, like we've seen it today with Hickory, that they beat themselves as well. They get out of their game. They lose their composure a little bit, their mental toughness, and then it's just they can't get it back.
It's become a lot of one-on-one basketball.
Yeah.
A lot of hero shots.
Exactly.
When you're down 13, you need buckets. You don't. I mean.
Yes, time is of the essence, but like you have the time to slow it down and run an offensive set.
I mean, if you would have told me that Hickory was going to hold primetime, in the 130s, it looks like, then you would think that they would have a chance to win. Kicked over to Howes. Howes just re-entered the game, and he fires up a three. Gets his first points of the game.
It's just crazy that they're not even pressing.
They may not have enough legs at this point. Those guys out there right now, starting lineup, has played a lot of minutes.
It's a championship game.
Glover has to be careful with 5. Sanders will come out, bail him out, pick up Barnett. 90 seconds to decide the title. 10-point lead. Moore drives, finds Barnett. The left-hander is up and good. Barnett now with 38 points, and you have to believe that he's going to garner some MVP as Smith fires Glover on the way to the bucket. I mean, we don't have a vote in it, but I'm going to say in a championship game, if you've got 38 points, you're going to get the MVP trophy.
One would imagine. One would assume so, but
although he's a team player. He's a team player. It's not about individual awards. And the old-fashioned three by Glover is good. Picks up his 32nd point of the game. Moore drives the lane, now he'll back out. Nearing the 1 minute mark. Finds it. Withers turned around, thought he had somebody in his face. He's looking for the foul. Two Hoyas tried to foul him, and Withers picks up the points. And now, as we are at a minute, as Barnett is pulling up lame, he's limping pretty good. Deep three from the corner off the mark. Rebound Moore. It looks like Chris Thomas is going to call timeout with 51 seconds left. He does not want to, as they're getting ready to head to the basketball tournament, the big $2 million tournament, as will be headed there for the 4th year in a row, I believe he said. 129-118. They can ill afford to lose Barnett. Both players will go to the bench. They'll talk about it. Remind everybody you can see the All-Star game here next week. Catch out some of your favorite players. They'll have a dunk contest. We're getting some extra help from Curtis Withers standing in front of the fan, which is right by us. If you can hear it in Lauren's mic, she secretly turns it on herself when no one's looking.
What?
That fan, I saw it.
No way. I'm just sitting close to it.
No fans in the job. No fans.
You hear it.
Yeah. No.
But I can guarantee it is not blowing on me because I'm sweating.
It's not as bad. It's not as bad as last week. It's not as bad, yeah.
Last Sunday was pretty rough. Or Saturday, I mean. What day was it? Saturday?
50 seconds. 50 seconds. I think, yeah, last Sunday, last Saturday. Whatever. Saturday, Sunday, whatever we need. Chris Moore, 13 to shoot on the shot clock. Now under 10. Primetime just content. They probably take a shot clock violation. Now he drives the lane, and the right-hander is good at the end of the shot clock. 13-point lead, 30 seconds to go. Withers on Glover. Glover the step-back three. All for naught. No good as Barnett rebounds. Shot clock is off. 19 to go. And Primetime will pull up. They're not even going to shoot as Withers dribbles into the front court. 10 to go. They're counted down, and Withers shot a three for no apparent reason other than to just stick it in their face. He looks back at all of them. The clock stops at 6.4 seconds on the shot. And the reverse dunk is missed by Marion, and that sums up the rest of the game. A 16-point lead, but more importantly, the Primetime players win their 4th straight ECBL title, and that is rarefied air, folks, in any league. So the champs were not dethroned today. It was a close game for most of the game, and Primetime pulls away once again at the end, and they will take home the hardware. And Lauren, we talked about this just a minute ago. You have to believe that Sean Barnett, that Wingate University local guy, is going to be the MVP, although we haven't seen any signal, but he's got 38 points. He led all scorers. He said in the beginning that they needed Barnett. Jeff Newsom of Hickory said they needed to shut Barnett down. They didn't, and they didn't get it done. So, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that right there in the keys, and that's why, keys to the game. They told everyone as they're on the court, and you can see the trophy out there right now. Now some of the sons and daughters of some of the players out there to enjoy some of the celebration here as the Hoyas, well, they'll have a short drive back to Hickory, but it'll be without the trophy. They had their chances. Been a great season here of ECBL basketball. It's still not over. We've got the All-Star game next week down in Columbia, so tune in. You'll have to check the website at netcastsports.com for what time it's going to be. We don't have the exact time. We're assuming around 4 o'clock, but you know what assume means, everyone. Means it'll probably be Sunday at 4, as Lauren commentated. That'll do it for us here from Bank Street Gym down in Fort Mill. Primetime wins their 4th championship, 134-118 over the Hickory Hoyas. For the beautiful shots that you saw here from Amanda and Robbie on the cameras, our producer Marcus Shockley, and for Lauren Fody, I am Alan Key. Thanks for watching. Till the next time, be safe. This has been a presentation of ECBL basketball on netcastsports.com.